Feels bad, man.
You
But
have to get low enough to find the untalented Terran players, if there are any.
They don't exist. They don't exist. But I'm here to learn, mate. We're here in the grand final. ZvT, two of the best Terran and Zergs in the world, duking it out in ESL Open Cup Asia, number 139.
And at Terran, one half of this grand final here, playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is, in the red, in the top right, the South Korean player. It is Cure.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of data under the sea, we have the South Korean Zerg player himself representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Dark. Getting proxy raxed.
He's getting proxy raxed.
He's getting proxy raxed. If we speak too loudly, he'll hear it.
These raxes, that's not his base.
It's not his base.
Is this allowed?
Is this legal? Oh god. Well, I'm a little bit sad because this means we won't see that weird factory nonsense if it was map specific.
No. You will. It's all good. This build, this is a late game macro build.
True. You know, Terran, they can open up 2 racks and you know what they'll say? It's macro opener, puppy. It's macro. That's the Zerg dies in the first 2 minutes of the game. I'm just macroing, puppy. Why are you dying? Why are you dying?
All these Zergs, you know, dying from 2x. You other Zergs, you're dying from 2x too, right? Right.
I've seen Solar died in 2x, okay? I don't know what you're talking about.
This happens to all of us.
All of us, papi. Here we go. A couple of boys are being pulled. Thankfully, to Dark's Overlord pathing, he was able to confirm and scout this proxy, so he's fully aware of it. It's only 2 Raxes. As you were saying, 2 Raxes isn't very committed at whatsoever. You can beautifully transition from here. You don't have to do too much damage as the bunkers are on the way. But, hey, they're not going to finish, are they?
Yeah, I have seen Dark doing this a lot as a response to Turax, going for a bit of a surround with the drones, and he's able to start picking off these Marines as they're coming out of the Raxes, so this is really nice, but he was quite frugal with the amount of drones that he decided to bring, and I think he's being punished for that. Usually you do pull a lot more drones in this, and you can see why, and this is really backfired. This is so much damage, way more than enough damage than Kyo needs to get.
I told you, mate, all the Zergs, they're dying to 2 Raxes. I don't know what Zergs you're facing that doesn't die to it.
Not just me.
I haven't seen it. Oh my god, 7 drones go down. As you were saying, a pretty disastrous start here for Dark to lose so many and to trade so inefficiently. He got 3 Marines for that, and you can definitely argue that Cure, he's already done what he needs to. Like, he can transition from here.
Yeah, absolutely, and he is transitioning already. This was quite a greedy response from Dark to only pull 8 drones. Definitely a lot less drones than you would normally pull against this. Hoping that the surrounds that he would go for would have got the kill for him, but Cure happily just making his Hellion at home, starting to tech up. We will be seeing that second base thrown down on location quite soon, and he manages to preserve a lot of these Marines as well, so he'll be able to keep map presence for quite a while.
Oh, he will. Dark is going to have a hard time pushing out. The other interesting thing is that Dark, because of his opener, his gases are late, which means he doesn't have link speed anytime soon either. He's going to try and go to the army into his base to try and get a bit of surround. He goes for it.
Yeah, but really nice micro from Cure, and this was a nasty supply block for Dark. He was supply block for quite a long time during that fight, and only just able to make these drones now. He's skipping the links as well, so Cure, he will be macroing out at home. He doesn't really have enough to keep putting on pressure, but he hasn't lifted his racks until just now, so opted to make a few extra Marines, realizing how far ahead he is.
Yeah, just playing it out safe, because why the hell not? For all he knows, there could be links backing up at home, there could be link speed on the way. He dives onto the Queen, there's not enough energy for a transfuse.
Yeah, no energy on these Queens, and he's going to be able to get even more drones now, even getting that Queen if he can get that Marine there to it, but looks like the Marine's not going to make it. Really nice job by Dark.
Yeah, exactly. Nice micro there in the end with pulling the boys, is able to keep his queen alive just barely. That could have been even more disastrous if we thought it would be even possible. As now things are going to be settling down, and yeah, Cure, he's got a relatively nice lead here. I say nice lead, like Dark, his drone counter isn't where he would have otherwise wanted it to be, but to make up for it, that is why he didn't make another wave of Lings to try and catch up.
Yeah, I do worry that that was a little bit of an overcommitment by Kyo to send all those Marines in, because there is really not too much pressure on Dark to make too many Lings. He should be able to defend this Hellions mostly with Queens, and without the extra pressure of those Marines on the map, there's really not too much reason for Dark to invest in anything but drones.
Oh, exactly. But at the same time, Queens, they're not the most versatile unit. The Hellions, they get into the natural base. They get 2 drones for their trouble. Oh, the Queens barely block the ramp in time. Cure doesn't get into the main.
Yeah, really nicely done, but loses so much mining time there. Definitely worth it for one Hellion.
Definitely, yes. Second Hellion is able to barely survive and escape, meet up with his brethren. And behind this, Cure is going for that 1-1-1 into Cloak Banshee. He's looking at the vision of Dark as he did dip in. He did confirm the tech lab on the starport. He even saw it researching.
Yeah, so catches that researching. He will have his spores up more than in enough time. So these Banshees will just serve to get a bit of scouting and a bit of map presence for the moment, but it does look like he will be able to get on top of this third if he's quick before this spore goes up.
Oh yeah, we'll see if he can get there in the end. Looks like he's not headed towards the third base location, unfortunately, so he goes straight into the main base where a spore is ready and waiting. At the same time, Hellions try to dip into the third where Queens are ready and waiting. So Dark, very good positioning here, able to deflect both forms of aggression. Oh, and you know, make sure he doesn't sustain any more losses.
Yeah, this is one of the features of this map. It does lead to longer games because you can just cut off these entries with those queens, but very good positioning from Dark with the queens there to stabilize what was a really rough position.
Oh boy, exactly. And actually behind this, we have an armory on the way for Cure. So he's going to be going for a bit of a follow-up push here. He's got some Marines on the way. He has a decent amount of Hellions. As long as he doesn't lose these on the map, then he can work towards that push, not just with Hellbats, but also with Stim.
Yeah, these medevacs are going to be out in time to actually sit with the push and heal up these Hellbats. So I think he's just recognizing that Dark has really skimped on his units and is trying to defend just with Queens, and realizing that there's so few units here, sees an opening to get an attack going.
Yeah, exactly. We do have 19 Lings on the map. Ooh, as Dark gets Giga Supply blocked, 6 Overlords are on the way. Ay, ay, ay. It looks like they will finish up just in time, but we have another wave of drones on the way. We need Banelings more than anything right now. This is being spotted, and we need those Banelings now.
Yeah, Dark has been really greedy, and Cure's done a fantastic job of recognizing that and reactively going into this build. So I really like this choice here to jump on top of the Banelings as well. If he can catch these Banelings before they morph in, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage, but it looks like he's just going to use his Hellbats to soak up as many as he can.
Yeah, exactly. There are more than enough Queens here to defend. The Arc was insane. The Transfuses were on point as well, and Dark will be able to get away with his greed. He can drone up freely from here. At the same time, Banshees actually slipped into the main base, and they were able to get a couple of drones.
Yeah, I was praising Cure for his decision to go for this build, but he did forget one thing, that Queens exist.
Oh god, it's true, Queens do exist, and Dark was ready for that push just in time, but enough time for the Banelings, and they waddled on in. Oh boy, and because of that, you know, Darky has been able to recover from his earlier dire position.
Yeah, Dark actually finding himself in a pretty good position now, attacking into the Hydras, getting his 1-1 on the way. He will be a little bit behind on these upgrades, but he'll have the range and the movement speed for the Hydras once he does start to take fights across the map. So he will have a strong Hydraling timing to be able to, if not attack, at least solidify his position and get further into the game.
Exactly. As our tech is on the way, he did kind of, like, because of all of this, like, the upgrades are relatively late, but I say relatively, like, because of the proxy as well, like, looks like the upgrades for both players are going to be around at the same time. Hive on the way already for Dark. Hydras are coming out. Papi, I see Lunkers on the horizon.
Yeah, definitely down the line we will have that, but there's another push forming up here from Cure, starting to abuse this position that is here on Data C that we've seen a lot of players using. So he will be trying to take out this base here on the right. And we can see for Dark, he doesn't have a 5th yet, but a little pause coming out. Maybe a bit of lag for the players.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully it's not too bad, whether it's latency or maybe something else happening IRL. Hopefully that's able to be cleared up. You know, again, maybe some KFC, some pizza on the door, at the door.
Bit of Za.
What?
Za.
Za?
Za.
Is that a pizza place in Melbourne? Is that...
No, it's just pizza without the P-I-Z.
Okay. Is that like smudge? Is that like some Zoomer lingo that I don't know? Is that...
Sure, yeah. Use it with all your friends. I think you're really cool.
Okay, fair enough. I think you're cool, Asher. I think you're cool.
Yay.
Oh god. This game is kind of shaping up to be pretty good so far. Like despite like the rocky opener, like we're getting into it.
Zerg's in the lead. Oh, this is shaping up to be a really good game.
You know, you're smudging in the corner.
This is where I like to see it. I don't want to see any of that nonsense where the Terrans are ahead. No.
Aye.
Yeah, meanwhile, putting on a lot of pressure on this base, but there are enough Banelings and Hydras here for Dark. He's going to be able to slowly push this back, but meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we are seeing Cure not quite able to get into his 4th base yet, so both players pretty interrupted economically.
Yeah, exactly. We do see a full surround though on the tanks, on these Marines. It looks like in the end, Dark will be able to clean this up. Barely had enough Banelings, had enough Lings, had enough Hydras, and with this, he's actually going for, oh my god, what looks to be a little bit of a counterattack.
Yeah, Cure doing as much as he can just to take out as many of those Banelings as he can with the tank that was there. And he does have his 4th and his 2-2 on the way now, so I think he will be okay just to sit back for a little bit. But as I said, that pushing out to the map to the same point, so trying to keep the pressure on here.
Yeah, and he may find some success as the creep hasn't been respread because of those Banshees that were keeping those Queens busy. Only just now the tumors are being thrown down. In the end, though, Cure decides to rotate through the center of the map instead, just clearing up whatever he can, and just trying to maintain that presence, trying to keep Dark busy back at home.
Yeah, I will say, as a result of how the opening of this game has gone with the 2 racks and with the follow-up pressures, he has done a really good job keeping this creep back. So Dark was able to get a lot of Queens up and was able to start getting a lot of this creep going, but Cure's constant pressure has stayed on top of the creep spread. And Dark, for himself, will actually deny this force, not a cancel.
Yeah, kill, not a cancel. Aye. Great run by there from Dark. I was thinking he was a little bit dubious just because he wasn't getting any economic damage done, but he still found some damage anyway. Meanwhile, at the same time, Cure pushing in towards that 4th base. There are plenty of Banelings though here, but in the end, Dark decides to give it up.
Yeah, Hydra's just trying to snipe off a few medevacs here. The Marines trying to take out as many Banelings as they can here, but ooh, medevac very lucky to get out on such low health, and Cure sending it straight back into the fray.
Oh my god, exactly. So maybe a wise choice that Dark did pull away his drones. He does rotate over towards a northern 4th base instead. It looks like he may still be able to hold on to this base just with the sheer numbers. He does take out the majority of these Marines.
Yeah, this is really rough for Cure. Dark bought himself enough time to give up this base and transfer to the base in the north, but he doesn't even need to give up the base at this point. He's transferred all the mining, so not too much of a disruption there, but not losing this base is quite a big deal. Cure spent a lot of time over here trying to get this push to work.
Yeah, exactly. And he was thinking about maybe trying to harass the northern front, but he opted to go and reinforce this army instead. He wants to at least kill this hatchery.
Yeah, it does look like he is going to be able to finally take out this hatchery with the reinforcements coming in, but he has spent so much time on this, and Dark not even willing to give him that, sending in the Vipers, yoinking these tanks out of the way, and he will take out both of those. 2 more tanks sent in to reinforce, but this army for Cure is not really getting any bigger in comparison to Dark's.
Yeah, exactly. Now with the power of these Vipers, Dark, he holds onto the base. He can actually take a fight if he wanted to as well. Cure, with only 2 tanks, I worry that he's overstaying his welcome. At the same time, I don't blame him for staying here because he wants that base. He wants some damage done.
Yeah, he spent so much resources on getting this base done and getting this base denied, and Dark not even able to give him that is taking out yet another tank, but this push starting to look a little bit scarier for Cure. Quite some reinforcements coming through.
Yeah, here we go now. 3 more tanks join the fray. Dark, he's going to try and collapse on this army. He dives on top of whatever he can. The Banelings are finding some connections. The tanks are being left completely exposed, and the Marines actually take down all the Banelings.
Yeah, really nice target fire coming out from the Banes, and the Marines running away before they could connect, cleaning up the last few of them, and for his reward, he will finally be able to take down this base.
Oh, he wants more than the base. He goes straight for the mirror line. He gets every single drone here and will get the base as he goes for the retreat. Nicely done by Cure. At the same time, he does have another drop here towards the north. Oh my god, the top left base very low because of it. Survives for now, but now Cure, he can rotate over. He doesn't have to invest any more time here towards the south.
Yeah, great job maximizing his damage here, but Dark, he's bought himself so much time. He has been mining fully off 4 bases this entire time. He has been teching into the Vipers, into his upgrades, and he is starting to look further into the game. But meanwhile, on Cure's side of the map, he does have his 4th mining. He does have eyes on getting a 5th towards at some stage, but this game is neck and neck.
Yeah, and Dark correctly identifies that, hold on, you only have a small force here towards the south. I'm going to send the majority of my Ling Bane Hydra towards the north instead. I'm anticipating an attack there, and correctly so, as Cure is moving in with the rest of his tanks, and he does get spotted by the Xel'Naga.
Yeah, Xel'Naga spots it, and he will just send those Lings in for a counterattack. These are going to do quite a lot of damage if there's not enough back at home for Cure to defend, but instead he's just going to use it to wrap around here, and this is looking like a rather precarious position for Cure, but a lot of patience coming out from Dark. We'll just give up that base.
Yeah, top left does go down. He's waiting for his Vipers to join the fray. Now that the Vipers are here, he can engage with all of these tanks. It doesn't have that much creep spread, so he has to be a little bit careful here as he goes in, and there are those blinding clouds.
Yeah, really nice blinding clouds there. Just kind of taking them out one at a time as he starts to move his way through. So really good cleanup. Nice patience from Dark.
Yeah, exactly. He may have lost the base in the process, but I mean, he still was on 4 bases. Quite oversaturated. As we can see, he needs a 5th soon, and he's trying to expand here towards the south as his 5th, but that's exactly where Cure still hasn't been cleaned up. I mean, it's not like he has much to clean up, but yeah, I'm curious to see if Cure tries to take the southern base again or keeps pushing towards the north.
Yeah, that one red health medevac has been an absolute nuisance, but meanwhile, Dark pushing in here, taking out so much of this bruised bio, but the tank position is quite entrenched.
Oh, it really is. This 4th base isn't going to be going down anytime soon. Maybe with the help of those Vipers, 3-3 is going to finish up in a couple of moments for Dark. But Cure has teched up all his way into Ghost. The first wave of Ghosts are on the way.
Yeah, Cure quite on top of his progression. If he can hold off this attack from the north here, while defending the south as well, he's going to find himself in quite a good position, but Dark's done a really good job splitting his army here, and I do think he's going to be able to deny this base at least, maybe even take out a few tanks.
Yeah, once again, a kill, not a cancel, as he pulls apart the army of his opponent. He tries to go for a multi-pronged attack, but Cure was ready for it. He was able to keep his reinforcements here towards the north, and he doesn't get broken.
Yeah, definitely not broken, and pretty good trades on the south here, but it does look like Dark traded pretty well at the north, so Dark is just being kept back here, and the Zerg is able to keep taking the map unhindered.
Yeah, exactly. He double expands behind this. He's got his 5th base up and running, getting fully saturated, getting his 6th and 7th at the same time. And now he can finally comfortably tech up into those lurkers. It took a while. Like, he didn't want to get there too soon, too quickly, and full because of it. He already has his Vipers. And yeah, now it's going to be on Cure to try and move out and try and expand, where Dark has vision all over the map.
You hear that, Dark? Hear that, Light? Sorry, you don't need to go that quickly into the lurkers. You don't have to. You don't have to do it. Look at Dark. Look how patient he is. Isn't he cool?
He's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh god, we'll see if he can make it work, mate, as we do have a double drop here towards the south. So again, Curie's not going to take this lying down. He's still trying to apply as much pressure as he can, and he's going to find a couple of drones as a result. Can he take out this space? It looks like he will not, as there were some Lings close enough to help reinforce and deal with this.
Yeah, but he does trade extremely well with these Lings.
Oh my god.
Even sniping the Banes. Wow, he's taking a really good fight here.
Jesus Christ, exactly. Eventually he will clean this up. Oh my god, he won't, he will. Wow. Cure. Is he gonna get the base?
Like, talk to me about Marines.
Man with
Pretty
gun,
good,
man.
huh?
It's disgusting. It's actually disgusting. At the same time, Dark is pushing in with his main army, looking to deny the 5th base. Baneling's rolling on forward as well. The Ghosts do pull back to the safety of the tanks, but the tanks are now gone at the cost of a lot of Banelings, though. But you know what? Dark did get a kill in that CC.
Yeah, I think Dark must be feeling very confident if he's willing to spend that many Banes taking out the tanks, feeling that he is in control of this game, he is ahead, he can start throwing away resources just to have the momentum in his favor. And we're seeing, yeah, the momentum is really going to be in his favor as he starts to make things happen all over the map. Yeah. This is where Zerg can get very chaotic.
Oh, exactly. Speaking of chaotic, we still have a drop here towards the north, but you know what? Dark is here ready and waiting. The Nidus does get cleaned up, but the Overlord is still here. I spoke too soon as Ghosts do snipe it in the end.
Yeah, the Ghost picking off that Overlord there. Kyo doing a really good job anticipating the further attempts for the Nidus. Will just stop that in its tracks for now.
Exactly, and now the pivotal moment. Can he hold on to this 5th base? For the second time this game, he's going to try and get it up and running. His army's getting in position. He's throwing down as many turrets and sensor towers as he can. We'll see if he's going to be able to do so, as Dark is also preparing himself to lay siege upon that base.
Yeah, nice scan there. Does see what's coming his way. So Dark's starting to set up a big attack on this base. I do think he'll be wanting to time that with a Nidus in the main at the same time as well. Just queuing up as many problems as you can for Kyo to deal with all over the map. But Kyo in his own right, setting up a very deeply entrenched defensive position. But Dark manages to find a little gap here.
Oh my god, but Cure sees everything. With the tank and with the reinforcements, this Nidus is not going to get up and running. At the same time, Dark tries to dive into this space, but Cure was also ready for that. A little bit of a lurker run by towards the right-hand side. He's trying, again, he's trying to pull apart the attention of Cure. Can he do it?
Yeah, it does manage to drag a few things this way and that way, but the Ghost will get back in time to defend these lurkers. Only losing one base for his travels, but here we can see the multi-prong of Dark. He's going to net him this PF in the top corner, and this 5th base, it is so important for Kyo to keep this mining.
Oh, exactly. This was well worth it here for Dark. He did end up losing a handful of his lurkers, and we'll lose another in the process, and Nidus is going up in the main base. Meanwhile, Kyrie's pulling the trigger.
Yeah, but I don't know how I feel about this. He's already in a very difficult position in terms of multitasking, and he's only making the situation harder for himself by adding more things to deal with. But you know what? He's up to the task. Does manage to take out the Nidus in the main before it goes off. I was really worried about that.
Yeah, I was as well. The Nidus did finish, but it does get focused down in the end. Kure still lost his base, but he was able to take a base at the same time. Was it worth it though? Because we do see that Dark is expanding towards the bottom right-hand side as well. Plenty of hatcheries are still available to him. And thankfully, Kure had another CC to replace the one that he lost.
Yeah, Dark doing a fantastic job, just double expanding away from the side that he's being attacked from. We're even seeing the Neural coming up for his signature, a bit of a signature Dark move, probably looking to Neural those Ghosts and EMP them.
Oh, exactly. We may see that as well. We do have the other Ghost getting caught out a little bit by a couple of stray reinforcements. Dark trying to force his way in towards that 3rd base location. Does get punished for it. Oh my god, no! No, the Ghosts! Oh!
Lurkers.
Lurker, Papi, it's only one. It's all you need. It's oh no! He's getting more damage!
Lurker is doing so much damage! This is what happens when you don't have a scan for even a moment.
For even a moment, mate. We don't have a single scan. We are low on orbitals. We just have planetaries here for Cure. And yeah, you know what? You know what he should have done? He should have made a Raven.
True. Yeah, but you can see this style of Dark that he's been going for, where he just constantly crashes into Cure over and over again. This is one of the ways it can pay off. He's taken out so many bases, and it doesn't really matter that the trades were not that good, because he's kept him off mining a 5th for so long, and he's kept all these bases that keep coming up being denied. So while Cure can just pick up another base and put it where the old base was, it does mean he has less orbitals for later on in the game, and that does make this situation very difficult, both economically and in terms of the scans.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was just checking, and Cure only has 3 CCs. Sorry, 3 orbitals. That is all he has to work with, so we have very limited scan potential, and I feel like Dark has probably recognized that, just doubling down on the Lurker aggression. Lurkers all over the place. One of those crucial orbitals, by the way, is on fire.
Yeah, if Dark can just kind of spread single lurkers all over the place. There really isn't going to be enough scans for Kyo to deal with it, and that is something that Dark does like to do anyway. It can be a very effective way to play him. Even setting up that Overseer there just to threaten the Nidus, he's going to keep Kyo's attention split all over the place.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the main base for Kyo, this is how desperate he is floating all the way over from one side of the map to the other, trying to take this, I guess, low ground expansion. At the same time, though, Dark is pushing on forward, and again, we saw that we just didn't have enough energy for scans earlier, and we do have one scan here. Oh god, it looks like barely Kyo will force Dark back.
Yeah, but Dark can just come back in when this scan expires. Kyo doesn't really have enough ghosts at this stage to deal with the lurker count, so it does look like he has only 8 ghosts throughout the map. If he can get that count up a little bit more, he will be okay, but he desperately needs to get this base mine in.
He desperately needs to land the CC. Look how much energy there is banked up here. He needs these scans to kill the lurker, but the lurker is denying the base, so he can't scan. Yeah,
meanwhile, the lurker actually taking out a tank on the high ground, starting to harass these ghosts. This one lurker, such a pain.
Finally, it does get cleaned up. Finally, the CC can land. Oh, and now we have so many more skins available here. I worry. Okay, thankfully he doesn't mule hammer suddenly.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Oh god. That's why we're casting, Papi. That's why we're casting.
Yeah, meanwhile, he can't really defend from this Ling Bane. We do see him making 3 tanks at a time, really trying to get whatever he can just to hold down these positions, but these single lurkers are causing him so much trouble.
They really are. We see another scan here on the right-hand side. The Ling Bane moves on forward. Can he get a kill on the CC? He wanted it. Doesn't get it in the end. Oh, so close. So as the army of Kyo moves on towards the top left, trying to do whatever he can. It looks like he will focus down another hatchery.
Yeah, this is a very rough position he finds himself in, though. We do see those mules being dropped. He's desperate for some income. He just has no money at all to make units with them. Dark is rich, really. I don't see a very clean way for Kyo out of this. He's just going to have to try to take his bases as slowly as he can and just turtle down.
Oh god, exactly. We'll see if he can do so. I mean, he is, to be fair, slowly getting another base up and running, but here we go. Dark moves in once again, not even with any lurkers, just pure Ling. He gets a full surround, gets more tanks, gets more ghosts. That's just how far ahead he is.
Yeah, Kyo just does not have the money to take these trades. Every trade like this is closer and closer to win for a Dark. He can just keep throwing Ling Bane at Kyo and he'll eventually run out of money. We do see Kyo trying to take out that base in the top left repeatedly. He really needs that base as well, but he's just not going to be able to take it. GG.
GG, well played. What a game number 1. I want to remind everyone, I know we had a bit of a pause in the middle of that, but that was only the first game in this series. Very back and forth. Started with Kyo getting a nice lead with his proxy, then things kind of evening out as Dark was insanely greedy afterwards, and yeah, it kind of led us towards a bit of a longer game, but I don't know, like Kyo, his economy was really slowed down. I don't even want to know how many CCs died that game when they were being built. If you remember, they were constant like Ling run-bys, and I think like 2 or 3 CCs were killed in the process. Like, oh.
Yeah, there's a completely dominating that game, so finally we get to see a normal game.
What are you on about, mate? Oh god, I wish it was normal, mate, as as Dark does take the first game in that series, but again, we had a really kind of interesting start to things, you know, less than standard, I would say, to begin with. But we'll see where things kind of take us, as both players only had 1 veto each, and we are loading into Waterfall.
You're on copium.
The Terran map. What are you talking about? The Terran map. You called it a Terran map. What are you talking about?
Until I played 1 game on it. Ay. You know I vetoed this map.
You're crazy.
Crazy fuck. Anyway, speaking of this map, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of it, we have Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Terran. In the red, it is Kyo.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Waterfall, we have his teammate also representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. DPG. It is Dark.
Here we go. So I do expect to see a fairly different game coming out here for such a small map. And there we go. Immediately, pull first coming out from Dark. This is one way to take control of things.
Yeah, definitely. I was about to say that something that Dark is kind of known for that we didn't really get to see at all in game number 1 is his Roach play. Unlike many, if any, other Zerg players out there, when we're talking about your Raynors, your Serals, your Solars, your Rogues, Dark does kind of really enjoy mixing them into his play, especially in ZvT. Kind of infamously kind of popularizing just straight up just Roach Rav eventually into Lurker. Obviously, there are downsides to that, and we could be seeing like an early Roach play here from this early pool. Regardless, I do think that Waterfall could lend well to that kind of more aggressive style.
Yeah, for sure. And any style that one of the big strengths of that style is the Roach Rav allows you to safely get into Lurkers. You can't really push out into Roach Ravager. You can try to get damage, but you do have to sit back a little bit more than usual. So having that extra space to get the Lurkers out on a map with such small area, the Lurkers can be really dominating.
Oh, it really can be. We'll see if that's kind of where the game takes us. And so far, Kier going for a bit of a scout, does run into Link, so he's fully aware of the at least pool opener, but he doesn't know what is behind this. He doesn't know if there is going to be a very fast Roach Warren or where the transition point for Dark is.
Yeah, so Kier just going to reactor out some Marines first. He did go for a reactor first opening, which is really nice for him. That's exactly what you want in this situation. It's very safe to these kind of openings, so he will be able to just pull down a few extra SCVs to the low ground and fight these Lings. But the Lings are starting to get on top of these units, and they are denying a bit of build time.
Yeah, delaying that CC for as long as possible. But as you were saying, a really nice start from Cure, able to have plenty of Marines at home to defend, and Dark is going to respect this. He's going to back on off. Meanwhile, with the first 100 gas, he will go for Link speed, and he does end up pulling out, so we won't be seeing an early Roach Warren.
Yeah, so I don't know if Q is potentially looking to do a 3-racks on this map with the reactor first. I know that's something that he does favor quite a lot, but seeing that it was a pull first, opts to instead go for a 1-1-1. He's getting an early tech lab as well, so I think we'll be seeing some very fast Banshees.
Yeah, interesting choice here where he opts not to go for an add-on switch for the Hellions. Instead, he just stays on Marine production. He's actually going to go for an add-on swap with the factory with the starport instead, I assume. So yeah, kind of an interesting way to go about it.
Yeah, I do believe this is a build that we saw him opting for quite a lot against during these Open Cups. So going for the Reactor Marines into the fast Banshees. This is a nice mix-up as well if your opponent knows that you like to play 2-on-1 and 3-racks quite a lot. Considering the amount of Lings that Dark's making, I think he is reading this as one of those Marine openers, and this Banshee's going to help a lot with the defense.
Oh yeah, but mate, we got a lot of Lings, mate. Dark has cut drones at 26. The Lings are flooding on in. They get a full surround on these Marines, as well as that bunker as well, trying to deny any kind of surface area, any kind of repairs here from Cure. And Dark, he's gonna break into the natural, but no, he actually tries to go into the main.
Yeah, just recognizing the repairs on that bunker, does back out, but that little bit of indecision, I think, is going to cost him a little bit in the long run. I think this bunker is not going to go down, but there are 9-10 SCVs going down. Does look like this bunker is just going to go down, but the Hellions are out in time to defend.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice defense there by Kira. As you were saying, the indecision of Dark meant that he wasn't able to break the natural like he would have wanted to. And now the Banshees are moving out, and Dark is still in the dark, by the way. He wasn't able to really... Oh, no, never mind. Looking at the vision, because of those Lings earlier, they were able to scout that tech lab on the starport.
Yeah, it does get the scout on that, but we do see an armory coming up. So once again, Kyo opting for a little bit of an early Hellbat build, interestingly. I don't think it went too well for him in that first game, but considering how many Lings just got thrown away, and Dark is going to be feeling like he has to go into heavy droning to deal with the opening. I can see the potential again for a bit of damage here.
Yeah, both games when opting to go for a Hellbat push, it looks like for Cure, it's a bit of a reactive response here from him. So we'll see if he finds a little bit more success this time. I mean, the Banshee is going to be able to chip away and soften up a lot of these queens, maybe even get a kill on one of the queens. And if again, any dead queen will help out those Hellbats.
Yeah, it does back off quite nicely there as well, just making sure that he keeps as much health as he can on these Banshees. So I think we will be seeing these Hellbats morphing in around now, but Dark doing a really good job moving this spore over. That's a fantastic reaction to what's happening here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Able to completely zone away all of these Banshees. I'm sure he would have loved to have overwhelmed Dark with these Cloak Banshees and just go ham on these Queens. That was not the case, though. Dark does deflect the first push.
Yeah, meanwhile, we actually see Cure opting to get a third Banshee, so going very aggressively into this Banshee opening, but oh, the wall is not a wall, and the Lings are in.
Yeah, the wall is not a wall. The Lings do get into the middle line as well. Workers are going to be falling. Cure, he's forced to commit. He needs to bust on in. He needs to get on top of these Queens. The Lings are not at home to defend.
Yeah, Lings aren't at home, but they can pull back if needed, and some of them are doing that. Nice timing there on the Cloak. Does manage to waste as much time as he can with the Queens, and he is getting on top of these drones.
Yeah, he completely abandons trying to kill all the Queens. He wants to go for Workers. The Banshees are waiting for them, already getting a couple of those drone kills. Is it going to be enough, though? Can he get into the middle line? He's going for it.
Yeah, really nice positioning there, but it's going to be a lot of pressure now to get on top of these drones, and Dark doing a pretty good job pulling them away. It can be quite hard to target fire them. The Hellbats are so slow getting on top of them.
Yeah, exactly. The Banshees were zoned away as well. It looks like Dark is going to be able to clean up the majority of this. Oh my god, the drones, did they come back too soon?
Yeah, the 16 drones going down total, and the transition behind this has been quite clean for Cure, so he is able to find himself in quite a considerable supply lead, and Dark actually very far behind on Workers, feeling obligated to push across the map.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a wall waiting for him. Nothing shoots up, so the Banshees are going to be insane defensively. Again, I'm sure things would have been different if the Banshees died in the attack, but no, Cure kept them all alive. And now Dark is all in. He's going for a Nidus. He has a lot of Queens, so time to make use of those Queens.
Yeah, this is his only option here. These Queens are not going to get in through the front. The Queens are not going. The Lings and the Queens are not going to get in through the front. He does need to get this Nidus up, and to his credit, I don't think Cure has vision of this backside here, but he is sending a Banshee over to look around.
Yeah, he is checking with the Banshee. We do have the Overlord providing a little bit of vision. There is an area in Cure's main base where he does not have that vision, so the Nidus could get up and running without him knowing. But at the same time, Cure is pushing out, and oh god, there's that Nidus, and Cure sees it. But does he see it?
Yeah, he sees it, pulls the SCVs over straight away to get on top of that, but I don't think they're going to be able to take this down in time. More so Hellbats just to deal with what will be coming out, which is a pure Lings, but with all those Queens coming out, this is going to get really dicey for him.
Yeah, exactly, and Cure's army is across the map. He's not going to be able to turn around. He is forced to commit, so Dark forcing his opponent a little bit more all in. Actually, Dark, he comes back home.
Yeah, pulls back just a little bit of his units home. We'll just defend with the Queens and then pop them back into Nidus and attack again. I don't think Cure is going to be able to defend his production.
Yeah, exactly. His production is under threat. We do have a couple of Liberators, though, and that will zone out his opponent. Stim is going to finish up, and I don't know if Dark can ever really push into these Lib zones.
Yeah, this isn't exactly what he wanted to be doing with his Libs, and he will actually lose one here. A little bit careless there. Maybe not careless, but maybe a little bit greedy sending it so far forward.
Yeah, very greedy indeed. Now we only have a single Liberator remaining here, but again, Stim finishes the production, or at least half of the production is still up and running, but Lings continue to flood across the map. The wall is indeed a wall. Cure unable to make use of his third base on one base economy right now, trying to pump out whatever he can. 2 more Libs are on the way.
Yeah, and that's the important part here. Dark has taken what was a really rough situation and completely stopped the production and the mining of Cure, so Cure finding himself in a pretty rough position here. Even if he does re-establish everything, this, what would normally be very all-in attack from Dark, doesn't really have to end the game here.
Yeah, exactly. He's been able to even up the work count. Meanwhile, oh my god, Nidus does finish up just in time. It does get focused down, but oh, the Queens, are they stuck? There's another Nidus on the way. They even barely managed to spare a creep tumor.
Yeah, the Queens are a little bit trapped here, but they are denying so much mining here, and they will be able to escape just in time.
Yeah, they do escape just in time. We're going to be needing a scan here to clean up that tumor in the end. Finally, Cure has cleaned up all of this aggression, and after all is said and done, where are things? Where do they lie? Dark, not droning, by the way. He's not stopping the Niduses, and he actually threw down a Roach Warren.
Yeah, I really like this. Considering how low on units Cure is, these Roaches are going to be very hard to deal with. You do need a critical mass of Marines to be able to deal with them. even, oh, I love this, corrupts the reactor barracks so that he can't make more Marines.
Oh my god, he contaminates not just the racks, but also the factory as well. What you see is what you get. Liberators are doing whatever they can, but that's why we have Ravagers to deal with them.
Yeah, this was masterfully done by Dark. He was in such a terrible position, but I do think he's found himself in a really good spot here, and Kyo just doesn't really have enough with the delayed production to deal with this.
Yeah, exactly. Those Ravagers, they kill another Liberator as well. They're breaking on through. They take control of the main base. They're getting on top of the production, and Kyo just has nothing left. He has 4 Marines.
Absolutely worst case scenario from Kyo. Maybe a little bit greedy going for those libs, but it would normally be so good in this situation where it's low eco and there's not many queens, but without the medevacs, without the extra units, it does go down to this attack, and fantastic game from Dark. What a comeback.
Yeah, the decisive nature of Dark's play was insane there. Like, again, recognizing how many drones he lost, recognizing that he was all in, and just doubling down on all those Niduses. Not just that, but also having the wherewithal to transition and tech up and throw down a Roach Warren just for Ravagers. Yeah, like, there were just so many facets to that play, and that was just, yeah, really well done. My god.
Yeah, brilliantly done by Dark though. Really good. He would have been completely dead in that game if he did basically anything else.
Yeah.
I think that was his only option. So, yeah, just showing his expertise in the game.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, like, a lot of it did also come down to the fact that Kyo unfortunately didn't quite have the vision on his side of the map. Not just the vision, sorry. It just happened to have hit just as he was moving out. If you remember, his Hellbats and Banshees were across the map at the time, so they weren't at home to stop the Niduses. They weren't at home to defend. And with the use of that Nidus, it was really smart of Dark to go back with his queens, defend against the push, and then immediately counterattack.
Yeah, you can tell Kyo's mind was completely on offense, and just letting that one Nidus up in the main spelled the end for him.
Oh, it did, but it is still not to the end. He has a chance to bring it all back here in game number 3. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our South Korean Terran player. He is red, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Cure.
And spawning here in the upper right-hand corner of the map, finding himself with 3 games to get the win and to get the ESL Open Cup Asia trophy for this week. It is Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Dark.
Oh boy, I'm just shocked that Dark was able to bring it back. Like, I think both of us had kind of written him off a little bit, like, oh, you know, the Nidus is cute, you know, it's it's his only way to do it, and he just, you know, the stars aligned. There was one timeline where he would have won that game, and that was it.
Yeah, I was just about to start talking about how good the Liberators were, because I know that's something that Sheldon Seether has been talking a little bit about in some of these games, where when there's these low eco situations and you take out quite a few queens, it can be really nice to get some extra Liberators to start denying the mining and just putting the Zerg into an all-in position. But in the end, actually, it kind of was a little bit of his downfall. Those Liberators not quite as good as medevacs when it comes to defending things like that. So yeah, pretty interesting there.
Yeah, it was interesting how, you know, they were able to, like, buy a little bit of time, I guess, but not much else. They weren't really able to stop that aggression from Dark. But to be fair, it's one of those things where I don't know how often Cure is in that position himself. So yeah, was trying to haphazardly piece it all together. And yeah, maybe just through sheer experience, Dark was able to keep a cool, calm, and collected mind.
Yeah, and the Ravagers were brilliant. Going into the Roach Ravager as well to deal with that was very well done.
Definitely. But we'll see what our players have in store for us here. So far, pretty standard opener from Dark. Hatching gas pool, it's what we expect, it's what we know, it's what we love. Hopes to make 6 slings as well. It's something that he does quite often, just to make sure he's safe and sound, and just to make sure that the Reaper doesn't get too out of hand.
Yeah, just a little bit of a habit of his, a habit that Solar does as well. It does mean that you can get this creep tumor really far, quite unhindered. And it does mean that you lose an extra drone on the way, but if it means that you can get your early game exactly how you want it, I can see why people might opt for that.
definitely. On the other side of things, we do have Cure opting to go for a 1-1-1 third CC before Starport going to be coming out. So yeah, a little bit more economic.
It's a standard build. I don't think I've seen just a fully standard 1-1-1 3cc in a long time now. Getting used to these weird like gas first, marine first, reactor first, the Beyond builds
you're
of the world.
You're getting too used to watching Gumiho, Beyond, you know, Hon Mono, these crazy Terrans.
Mate, even Maru. I don't think Maru really does this anymore.
Long gone are the time of innovation in TY. You know, the more, even TY was a little bit more crazy, but the more standard pro play. Oh, these Terrans, they're apes, mate.
Yeah, bring back TY. I want to see the standard 2-1-1 into 2-port BC. Nice, good, honorable player.
True. Look, hey, when he did it, it didn't look oppressive, okay? He did it with style, all right? He was too charismatic to be upset at him.
It's cool when TY does it. It's not cool when you do it.
True. Oh god, but interesting, as Cure has started up Marauder production, he's going for Concussive Shell. Is this Madman going for another Hellbat push?
Yes, so this is a Hellbat Marauder. This is something that I have been seeing quite a lot on these new maps, especially from Cure himself. This is something that he mixes into almost every series. I gotta say, out of all the Hellbat builds, I think this is the one that I like the best. The Marauders with the Concussive do mean that you can actually catch these queens and start taking them out.
Exactly. Marauders are there for the queens. The Hellbats are there for the lings. This can get out of control real quick really quickly if it goes unscattered. And Dark, with that Viking, he did lose his Overlord across the map, so he is in the dark.
He does have his Bane Nest on the way though. I think this Bane Nest should be just in time. Has his lair going as well too, so I do know with these builds, if you can be a little bit greedier as the Zerg and you get away with it, you have a really considerable lead. And I think, yeah, it does look like he should be able to get across just as the Bane Nest is finishing.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be very close here. We'll see if the Bane Nest finish in time. We do have plenty of lings. We have 21 lings in total, so Dark is ready for anything. He's playing it safe as well, getting spores. So again, he didn't know if there was gonna be like a BC or like a Banshee or anything like that. So he's getting ready for anything he can. And here we go, Cure. He's executing his build. His Marauders are here.
Yeah, the Marauders are here. They're getting on top of the Queens. The Transfuses are going down, so no Queens going down just yet. But none of the units of Cure going down just yet either, but we do see the Banes coming in there from the left. One Queen going down already.
Yeah, the Spines are finishing up as well, and they're definitely going to help out. We do see a surround on some of these reinforcing Hellions by those things. Dark being so patient with said Hellions. Finally, he dives on in, and with the help of the Hellions and these Queens, is it going to be enough? They don't have enough energy for any more transfuses, but we do have Spines at the third.
Yeah, we do have those Spines up and going. We have the Queen still firing away at these Hellbats, and the Medevac is out of energy, so this will spell the end of the push for Cure, but he's not going to be able to get home safely. Dark jumping on top of him.
Yeah, exactly. He does dive on top of some of the reinforcements. In the end, Cure is forced to back on up. Honestly, I don't know what really tipped Dark off about throwing down these spine crawlers, but they were honestly pretty essential there. If it wasn't for that, Cure would have just dove on those three remaining queens and they wouldn't have been able to stop him, but the spines were able to just keep him back.
Yeah, did a really good job with that. Maybe sniffed out something about Cure's play that was a little bit off. Maybe knowing Cure as a player as well favors this build. Does get his defense up, but he does lose quite a few queens in the process, and we're seeing Cure going for a similar idea of the last game, going for very fast libs considering that queen damage.
Oh yeah, we'll see if they come into play. A couple more Banelings are whirling on in. It looks like we are going to get a kill on some more of these Hellbats. So again, Cure, the majority of this push has been whittled away at, and he can't really find too much damage. But he's still maintaining his presence here, trying to poke and prod, reinforcing the army as well, just continuing to pump out Hellions.
Yeah, Cure putting on so much pressure here, and these Liberators, they are going to do a lot to solidify the position, whether he uses them to help fortify this attack or whether he uses them to start harassing the outside bases. He is going to be able to start getting some damage here.
Yeah, he is. You know, he's going to be applying that pressure here towards the fourth base of Dark, and we are going to be seeing a cancel in the end. Dark trying to expand here towards the south instead. Meanwhile, the first lib is across the map, but does siege up on top of a Spore.
Yeah, but 6 drones for his troubles. I think he's going to be quite happy with that. And I like this as well as a stylistic choice versus Dark. Dark really likes to bring all his queens all together to the front and use macro hatches for his lava instead of injecting. and it does mean that something like this Liberator harass is a lot harder for him to defend.
Oh yeah, I mean, because as a result, we saw how much damage was already done. We have a second Liberator here outside the main base as well, so Dark has to bear that in mind. He has to be careful, already rotating some queens here towards that main base, or just injecting. As they are headed in that direction. Goes for a little bit of a Ling run by, and oh, can he force a cancel?
Yeah, just enough back here to defend, and we do see that force coming out from Cure. So Cure is looking further into the game despite the aggression that we've seen from him so far. He is economically in quite a good spot.
Oh yeah, I mean, his third is fully saturated and up and running. Fourth base is on the way. Dark is maybe looking to go for another Ling run by to try and deny it, so Cure has to bear that in mind. He has to be careful to make sure it doesn't get killed. But now pushing out with a couple of Widow Mines mixed in as well.
Yeah, I really like this from Cure, just continuing to put the pressure on. He's just going to trade as well as he can, and considering how far ahead he is economically, I really like this choice just to trade with the army of Dark.
Yeah, definitely, and just like that, the Ling Bane goes down. Maybe Dark was a little bit too greedy tech-wise, taking up and going into all these Hydras instead of more Ling Bane, and he's being maybe punished a little bit because of it, but with the help of all these queens, they come in, and he's able to hold on to his fourth.
Yeah, but I think Kira is quite happy to make this trade. He does deny the mining for a little while in the fourth, and he does force out lots of units as well. Doing such a good job throughout this game of putting on so much pressure and forcing units from Dark. And we do see that he has a considerable upgrade lead as well.
Oh, he really does. 2-2 on the way. 2-2 hasn't started yet for Dark again. A lot of that gas is being invested in his Hydras and his Hydra upgrades, so he is kind of delaying that a little bit, intentionally so. And yeah, we'll see if he's going to get punished for that as he delays it even further, going for an Infestation Pit.
Yeah, just looking to tech a little bit further to get control of this game. He's going to push back this drop on the right, but on the left we already see another drop setting up, trying to clear out some of this creep.
Yeah, and clear up creep is what he does. A lot of that here in the center of the map, just containing Dark to these four bases. Taking a fifth is going to be so difficult to do so here. He's trying to expand here towards the top, or at least spread his creep in that direction. But again, Kira is just being so active right now.
Yeah, Kira putting on so much pressure, just making it really difficult for Dark to get anything done. The creep is pushed all the way back into his bases, and Kira is not stopping.
Yeah, exactly. Even clearing up the creep here towards the north. So Dark, it just doesn't have any creep to speak of right now. And here come those reinforcements. Here come more Widow Mines. Lurker Gen is on the way, but it's not done. It's not ready yet.
Yeah, and Dark is being forced to fight here. He's being forced to trade out these units. And with +2 attack finishing for Cure, this is a really nice timing for him. He's going to be able to trade so well with these unupgraded Hydras.
Yeah, exactly. The unupgraded Banelings as well, as they're stuck behind said Hydras. They cannot get close to this Bio Army. The Queens are doing what they can. Honestly, some sick transfuses going down. With that, he does force the enemy back, but there is no detection. These Widow Mines are about to reset.
Yeah, the Widow Mines are about to reset, but I am a little worried. Dark is taking a really nice concave here, and the army of Cure is very bruised, but here we go. All these mines going off. These Queens very bruised.
Yeah, no Queens go down, but you know what? Here come the reinforcements. Here come the Marauders to focus down as many of these Queens as he can. So beautiful Widow Mine shots, beautiful follow-up. Dark will still hold on, but he did lose a lot of Queens in the process. He's also able to barely hold on to the north flank as well.
Yeah, he does need to just back out and regroup a little bit here. The Marauders don't quite have the DPS to trade well with the Hydras in these small numbers.
You know what? Lurker Den is done. Are we going to see some Lair Tech Lurkers? Hive is on the way. Do you want to delay Lurkers for that long? Can Dark hold on with just Ling Bane Hydra?
Yeah, we are seeing at least one Lurker being morphed in. I really do think it would be a good decision to start morphing in a few just to solidify these positions. These are very defensible ramps. If he wants to hold on to these fourth, he is able to do that, but I think he might be looking more at how he's going to get his fifth, and I don't think Lair Tech Lurkers are going to help him with that.
Yeah, they will not. He has to rely a lot more on a more mobile army here as he tries to keep up with this, but his entire army gets drawn towards the north, and now this hatchery is going to go down to only a handful of units.
Yeah, the DPS of this Marauder is really good in these small groups at just taking out these bases, and suddenly Dark finds himself on 3 bases. Kira's been suffocating this game.
Oh god, exactly. Dark not really having a great economy to work with right now. He still has a pretty strong army, but unable to deny this drop into the main base. Just barely didn't have enough to stop this from happening. And now the drop is going to push on forward. It looks like though with the reinforcements, Dark can maybe clean this up. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think this is enough. Q has put him in such a difficult position when it comes to deciding how to split up his army. It does look like it'll be just enough as these medevacs run out of energy, but Dark doesn't see a way back into this game. GG is called.
GG does get called. Cure takes his first game in the series. He will not go down 3-0. He fights back, and this is why I veto Tropical Sacrifice.
They can't all be Terran maps.
They're all Terran maps.
It's like I lost a game on this map once too. I know your pain. I know it's a Terran map.
True. GG, well played. Honestly, that was just really good aggression there from Cure. Really decisive play. Even though like that Marauder Hellbat push didn't necessarily break Dark, like you were talking about it, like he was able to keep that queen count down, which in turn kept the creep spread down, which in turn meant that it was difficult to keep up with those Liberators as well. Like it all just kind of added up there in the end, all adding up in favor of Cure.
Yeah, Q is relentless in that game, and eventually it did cause one little mistake coming out from Dark, just a bit of a poor army split, but in the end, it really didn't look like he was going to be able to find any way to take his fifth, so masterfully done by Q.
Definitely. And personally, I'm glad to see it happen just because, again, it means that our series will continue. We are going to get more than 3 games, maybe even go all the way to Game 5.
Yeah, that's right. And here we have in the bottom right-hand corner, bringing himself back into this series now, getting his name on the board. It is Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Terran in the red, a South Korean player, Cure.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Moondance, we have the South Korean Zerg player himself representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Dark. I just realized that I made a mistake in casting tool.
Oh
God.
Did you forget to spin the camera?
That's something else. As Dark is opening up with a pool first.
Yeah, opting for pool first again on another one of the short maps. This map actually being the shortest rush distance in the pool. So possibly looking for a bit of roach pressure here. It has been something that I've seen players like Lambo favoring here.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if that's going to be the case. That's kind of what I assumed on Waterfall as well, but Dark kind of took things in a bit of a different direction. So we'll see what he ends up spending his resources on. Meanwhile, Cure, I'm also got my eyes on him, whether or not he goes for a Reaper first, or similarly to Moondance, whether he goes for the Reactor. We have our answer.
Yeah, I will say another feature of this map that does make it conducive to the roaches is there's no ramp in front of the natural, and we do see that Roach Warren goes down straight away.
Oh god, exactly. There it is. Roach Warren has been thrown down. It is going to be on the way. Now it's going to be on Cure to try and scout this with his initial Reaper. I mean, the SCV is going to do a little bit of work. It goes across the map, and he should confirm. Okay, I mean, he sees the link, so he knows about the pull first.
Yeah, he does say that, but Dark is able to deny the SCV from scouting any further. So this SCV, it is just going to try to keep track of these links, but unfortunately isn't able to do that, which means that it's going to be a little bit difficult for Q to send his Reaper across the map. He's going to have to find a little bit of a weird path to do that on, unless he's just trying to catch these links.
Yeah, and it looks like he barely won't be able to catch them. Unfortunately, because of the threat of these links, he can't move out across the map with this Reaper, because if he does, then the CC is going to be delayed, which means that this is still going to go on unscouted.
Yeah, so far, no signs really that Q has been able to sniff out what's going on here. And the longer it takes him to work out what's happening, the harder it is for him to defend. We do see him going for a Reactor as well, so I don't think he has any idea of what's happening here. He's not quite able to sniff this out yet.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, the Reaper slips into the main base, but it gets denied once again by the Queen. Marines are able to at least keep the CC up and running and make sure it actually finishes up in time. But as you were saying, he just doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't really have anything ready, and the Ravagers, mate, they're here.
Okay, there we go. He has seen it. We see a bunker going down in the main. We see a tech lab on the factory, but he is going to lose a lot of time down at the natural. I don't think this orbital might just be able to finish, but I do think that he's going to have to lose maybe 1 or 2 depots.
Yeah, exactly. The Deepers are under threat. We do have that high ground vision provided by the Overlord. Ravagers are here as well. Jark is droning behind this, by the way, so he's not completely all in. He's just looking to, again, apply some pressure and deal whatever damage he can. Some Deepers would be nice. We'll see if he gets the reactor as well. We'll see if he gets more.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons that this 5 roach build is so dangerous, is because you can drone very heavily behind this. There's not that much pressure to get so much damage. You really just need to keep your opponent back, and if the Terran's not very prepared to deal with this build, it can do more than enough damage to pay for itself just in the reactions that you have to make to survive.
Oh, exactly. And we'll see how, like, if he's able to break free from here without losing too much. He has to be careful, especially with this Cyclone, not to take too much damage as the file does go down, does end up connecting with one of those Marines, but at least the Cyclone survives. And I kind of like this from Cure as well. An adaptation on Moondance, he is able to actually land a CC and, you know, at least start mining as soon as possible.
Yeah, he does clean this up and he gets his medevac out, but he loses all his Marines in the process, and Dark has just been busily droning this time. But I will point out, Dark doesn't have his 3rd up yet.
Yeah, which is a little bit odd. You would typically prioritize your 3rd over another wave of Queens. Maybe he just wants to be safe here in this kind of position, and he will take a 3rd, but it looks like he's going for the pocket 3rd, actually.
Yeah, I don't mind this from Dark. It will just help him be able to rotate those Queens a little bit better. He probably doesn't have time to creep out to the linear 3rd or anything like that. But Curie's going to start putting this pressure on. Dark himself is making a lot of links to send across the map.
Yeah, I mean, the wall is currently not a wall. The Cyclone is not at home either. It's here in this medevac, so I'm sure he feels confident that he can defend against this and attack at the same time. Lings are already here across the map looking to delay the CC. What do we have at home to defend? We will have a couple of Hellions with good enough micro. Cure should be able to hold.
Oh, but Dark is making so many links. He's just continuing to make links. There's a lot here, and there's no wall here for Cure.
Yeah, but you know what? This Cyclone actually brings everything back home. Literally every single Ling does return just to deal with this one Cyclone. Not too sure how I feel about this, just because of how big of an investment we had, as Dark now goes back across the map and almost gets scouted by the Banshee.
Yeah, and this has bought enough time for Cure to get these Banshees out, and sending them across the map is going to put a bit of the momentum back in his favor.
Yeah, exactly. Do we have Spores ready? Looks like they're going to finish up just barely in time to deal with the Banshee. God, that was so close. And again, unfortunately, these Lings, ideally, they were supposed to be aggressive across the map. They are forced to stay at home in the end just because of how delayed that attack was. But Cure, he's kind of, getting away with not having that wall.
Yeah, Cure doing a really good job with his emergency defense with those roaches in the initial phases of the game. Has found himself back in it.
Oh boy, exactly. He's catching up when it comes to the economy. You know, he's keeping Dark busy back at home, not necessarily dealing a lot of damage, but I mean, he in a way dealt inadvertent damage by forcing all these Lings to come out. Maybe a mistake from Dark, but because of this, like, things have, for the most part, evened up.
Yeah, and here we go. We do see Dark is researching Roach speed. It does look like he's going to play a Roach style this game. Very interesting.
Oh, yeah, Roach speed on the way. I mean, yeah, we'll see if he commits even further to Roaches or if he tries to go like Ling Bane Roach Ravager or something along those lines. I mean, this will mean that he's going to have a lot less presence on the map. So Cure has a lot of freedom right now. He even takes his 4th on location.
Yeah, with the late Evos and with all the gases it has taken, even taking the 4th as well, I do think this is going to be a Ravager Bane style coming out from Dark, which probably means he's going to be looking to get into Lurkers later on as well. So the Ravager Bane style can be really good just for trading efficiently with these Banes.
Yeah, and this is such a fast infestation pit as well. Jesus Christ. Dark taking up so quickly here. I'm sure he feels a little bit threatened, a little bit behind just because of how this game has worked out. So he's just trying to cut as many corners as possible. He's going to get away with it because in a way, you know, he's meeting Cure's greed with his own.
You know, actually, I think this Infestation Pit could be for Infestors this time. There is that old style of Roach Infestor into Ultra. I could see that being something that could work quite well on this map.
It really could, but here we go. Cure is pushing out across the map. The army looking quite in his favor. We only have 4 Roaches to defend here for Dark. We don't have any Ravagers ready for this either. Oh.
Yeah, Cure catching a pretty good timing here, but there's a nice run by from Dark, denying this 4th just for a moment.
Yeah, the fourth does get denied. It does slow Cure down. Cure actually opting to turn around instead, looking to try and catch these Lings.
Yeah, Cure chasing these Lings down with the Hellions. Very good control coming out from both players. But there are enough Roaches here on the front to defend these Marines now.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like Dark has been able to get away with so far all of the teching. We do have the Hive on the way, so we do have confirmation that the Infestation Pit was indeed for that Hive. Whether he wants to go into oh no, actually Hive as well as Infestors. He's going for both.
Yeah, so seeing some Baneling Nest, the Baneling Nest started up. We're seeing the Infestors, seeing him start going into the Hive. I do personally think this is going to be that Roach Infestor into Ultra style.
Yeah, it would make the most sense right now, just because if we wanted to get into Lurkers, we would see a Hydrogen instead of those Infestors. So looking at the tech path, that would make the most sense. And we'll see if Dark can get there in time, because it does take quite some time to actually tech up in that direction. So far, he's done a great job at holding on. It also makes sense that he actually wouldn't morph in any defensive Ravagers earlier on, just because he needed all that gas for all of this tech. Now finally has the room to make them.
Yeah, there we go. The Ravagers are on the way, but Cure, as we mentioned in the previous game, has done a brilliant job keeping this creep back, and that creep is going to be so important for this style.
Yeah, I think the scary thing as well is that Baneling speed is on the way, but it's not even, it basically just now started, so it's not going to be ready for this push. He has to rely on pure Ling, Roach, Ravager, and to be fair, those fungals from those Infestors.
Yeah, that is true. Cure's going to have to be very careful not to overcommit. He doesn't know about the Infestors yet, so if he goes too far onto creep and he gets fungled, it could be disastrous for him.
Yeah, it's a great way to make up for the late Baneling speed right now. So we'll see if he can get away with it. Meanwhile, Adrenal is on the way. The first Viper is coming out as well. Cure dipping his toes into the creep, and there's that first fungal.
Yeah, first fungal goes down, doesn't hit too much of the troops. And Cure is just going to slowly push forward with these tanks, really taking his time here.
Yeah, taking his time. There's honestly not that many fungals available either. I think there's one more remaining because we didn't have Pathogen Gland, so it takes a long time to gather that energy. Meanwhile, he pushes on forward. Baneling speed will finish up in a couple of seconds. So far, abusing the fact that we don't have that yet, but here we go. Dark is pulling the trigger. Thinks better of it.
Yeah, just trying to scrape off a few of these units from the front, but he is going to set up a really large surround, and I don't think there's enough for Cure to defend this, but he does stim in, starts to attack this right side, taking out a lot of the Banelings already.
Yeah, the Banelings do end up falling. Only Ravagers remaining here. A couple of piles are going to connect. Fungal as well. Is it barely going to be enough? We have some reinforcing Lings, but no, it looks like Cure, oh god, with the piles, barely. Dark will clean this up.
Yeah, it does manage to clean it up, but it was a very expensive cleanup. Both players trading out a lot of their army there, so we will have to see what Dark opts to rebuild into. We are seeing 3 Vipers getting started up, Adrenal on the way for him, and on Cure's side, just tacking along, starting to get his 5th put together. So in a very nice spot economically.
Definitely. I mean, I worry a little bit here because Dark was skipping out on his worker count, and his worker count still isn't ideal. He lost a lot of his high-tech units, a lot of his gas-intensive units, specifically his Roaches, his Ravagers, and his Infestors. So, gonna be trying to rebuild. Oh, does take out a tank in the process. He is falling back on Ling Bane.
Yeah, just trying to get out as much Ling Bane as he can just to survive here, and we can see he is pretty far behind on the upgrades. 3-3 of Cure on the way, while the 2-2 of Dark, the +2 armor only starting just now.
Yeah, but despite that, it looks like Dark was able to take a good enough trade. I say that, there's not enough buffer anymore. The last remaining Ravagers are being focused down by the handful of Marines and Marauders. They bust on forward as well, try to get on top of these Queens. Banelings are being morphed in, and GG gets called. Cure breaks Dark once again, and we are getting an ace match.
Wow, fantastic job from Cure there. Really good defense of the 5 Roaches, and manages to catch Dark's kind of weird all over the place tech pass with a very strong timing, and trades out enough army to get the momentum in his favor.
Yeah, it was an interesting decision there by Dark to give up his economy, like faster bases and more drones, for instead a Hive. He also actually he had Adrenal for the final fight, by the way. Like before he had 2-2,
yeah,
he had Adrenal once again. And he had a Viper, but the Viper didn't have enough NG either. Like it's so difficult to get away with fast Hives, especially when your opponent is that aggressive.
Yeah, he did go for a very fast Hive, and I think it was for those Vipers, and he made quite a few Vipers, but he never really got to use them in the end.
Yeah, they just take a long time to produce. They take a long time to actually suck on some buildings and gather that energy as well. They never were able to come into play. So Dark may be thinking a little bit too far ahead, a little bit too early on in that game. And now as a result, we are going all the way into the ace match.
Yes, and here we are, finding his way back into said ace match in the top right-hand corner of the map. It is the Red Terran from South Korea playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is Cure.
Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the South Korean Zerg player himself representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Dark. Yeah, just very solid play from Cure that last game. Being able to even have a late reaction to those roaches, but still make the most out of a potentially bad situation there, like minimizing losses, you know, cleaning that up and having a pretty strong follow-up from there as well.
Yeah, great play there from Cure, and I definitely think that's going to put a lot of confidence in his head. The 2-0 lead for Dark starting in this game would have been quite hard for him to deal with, but these 2 games, he's just been able to kind of, you know, push with his timings and just keep the pressure on all the way throughout the game, and that's going to do wonders for your confidence as a Terran player.
Yeah, it really will. Oh boy. And I wonder what Cure is going to do with that confidence. You know, is he going to try and go for some mind games, go for some meta games here against Dark, or are we going to see more of the same? I say more of the same. We've seen a lot of Hellbat pushes from Cure this series. 3 out of the 4 games. My god. Are we going to see it again? I don't know, man.
I will say, interestingly, it looks like for Cure, these games that he's won, he's just been playing the standard Reaper Marine builds. So good to see him going back to this more standard build here. I do think it's a lot more flexible than some of the other openers. This is a build that, you know, people have been playing for years and years and years. I think it has the most theory out of all the Terran builds. So it is good to see him playing just this standard build once again.
Yeah, I agree. You know, when I look at these Hellbat builds, you know, they feel a little bit committed sometimes, maybe for the reason. It's like, oh yeah, sometimes they can work, sure, but you know, if you just calm down a little bit, you know, you can find a little bit more success, and that's what Cure has been finding here. So far, very standard openers. This time, Dark doesn't go for an early pool. He goes for a more standard Hatchgas pool open.
Yeah, another standard opener coming out from Dark, and we do see those 6 lings allowing him to get that creep tumor out nice and deep, and he is going to be able to just move along with his opening. So it does look like we're going to have a more standard game on this map.
Yeah. Likewise, we do see an economic opener from Cure as well, going for a start CC before Starport, going for the 1-1-1. So again, nothing crazy, no weird 2-1-1 or any kind of weird aggressive opener either. Everything looking very economic.
Yeah, just trying to find a nice place to sit down that Rax, but everything looking very standard from him so far. This was the start that we saw when he went for that Hellbat Marauder build, but considering he's making a second Marine here, it does look completely standard so far.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we have our Hellions coming out to maintain that map control. I guess we should emphasize a little bit more the fact that this is probably the most standard that Cure has looked this series. Maybe a little bit more last game, but last game was did have a bit of a more chaotic start to things. But yeah, I feel like maybe both players have been humbled in a certain way, and we're ending things off with more, again, more macro instead.
Yeah, for sure. And with this Viking opening as well, this is, so far, everything looks the same as when he did that Hellbat Marauder opening. So I wonder if he can sell the story a little bit, that he might be going for that opener.
We'll see. I mean, with this Viking, there we go. The Overlord's going to get cleaned up. Dark hasn't really been able to see the main base whatsoever. He's going to try and make his way in, but we even have a Marine to just keep him at bay as well. And yeah, Dark is going to be playing in the dark as a result, but he's going for his double Evo chamber, so we're not going to be seeing any kind of crazy fast infestation pit before upgrade kind of styles here. Yeah, again, it's just more standard. You love to see it.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a good job from Dark as well, recognizing that he doesn't really need his Bane Nest just yet. He can be a little bit more greedy, go for these upgrades, just drone really hard and defend everything with the Queens. Correctly identifying the kind of build that Cure is going for here,
It's one of
which
those...
is just standard Viking lib.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where Dark is only just now scouting with his Ling, and if this was a Hellbat push, Dark would be in a lot of trouble. Like, and just regardless, the Queens are out of position. The Hellions, they do get into the natural base. Can they roast up this mineral line? They get a pulse around.
Yeah, the Hellions diving in, but really nice drone splits from Dark. He's barely lost any at all.
Oh my god, only
one worker going down, yeah.
Wow, only one drone does end up falling. Meanwhile, we have a Liberator here at the third base location. So Dark on one base economy right now. His natural and his third not being mined from whatsoever. And the Hellions are still looking strong. The Lings were all cleaned up. Despite the great splits, the Lings were roasted as a result of this.
Yeah, and because of cleaning up all those links, he is going to be able to get these Hellions out. So dives in with 8, leaves with 4. That's really good for Cure.
Definitely. He was also able to clean up some of the larvae, some of the morphing in eggs as well with the Liberator. Keeps the Liberator alive, so a great start for things for Cure. You know, Dark did keep the majority of his workers alive, but things are even up when it comes to that worker count, which is always a good thing for Terran.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something, you see it a lot when Clem plays as well. It's a sign of a very good Terran when all your harassment units come back on red and orange health. It shows that you've gotten so much use out of them.
Oh god, it really does. It's crazy. So, you know, maybe that confidence, maybe that momentum really affecting Cure in other ways, as we're seeing here with his opener. But from here, Dark, you know, he's throwing down his Baneling Nest, his 1-1 upgrades are finishing up, he's getting into a macro hatch. This leads us to believe that he does want to stay on Ling Bane for quite some time, but Cure is now pushing out, and it's going to take quite a while for Dark to get Baneling speed.
Man, look at those Hellions all healed up for free. They're back to full health for free.
They basically have regen, mate. They basically have regen. It's disgusting.
They're almost as good as any Zerg unit.
Shaking my head as the Hellions do get into the mineral line as well. This time roasting up a couple more drones. Ooh, 4 drones in total before they get cleaned up. At the same time, Dark did overextend as well, trying to get us around on those Marines in the middle of the map, but all the Lings did get cleaned up there.
Yeah, even getting that live in on the natural, as well as cleaning up all those links at the same time. The multi-prong from Cure this game has been fantastic, getting so much use out of his early game units. Getting a second round of harass with those Hellions and Liberators is like more than enough than you would hope for when you're going for this opener.
Yeah, definitely. Like, again, like those Hellions typically in a normal game would have been dead at this point, so any kind of additional damage that they can deal is a bit of a bonus. Meanwhile, here we go with a bit of a follow-up push. Cure comes in with his tank, dies on top of a Morphing in Baneling. This base is being given up here. Dark instead goes for a counterattack.
Yeah, if this counterattack can't get damage, which it looks like it probably won't be able to, I don't think these are going to trade well at all. Dark is now in a really rough position. Losing that base and down to 3, yeah, he finds himself unable to finish this game, and GG is called.
GG, without any real style or flair, just with solid play, Cure comes out on top. He takes game number 5, and he is going to be our ESL Open Cup number 139 champion.
Wow, fantastic job by Cure there, getting the reverse sweep and showing his skills, showing his multi-prong, really kind of taking the momentum from those last 2 games and playing just a standard build with all the confidence that he got from those games. Manages to just outplay Dark, really, and gets the win for this week. Congratulations.
Wow, yeah, GG, congratulations. That was just really well done there by Cure at the end. You know, nothing too fancy, no weird opener, just solid, just mechanics pulling apart his opponent. Maybe Dark miscalculating a couple of times. We did see him overextend with his Lings from time to time and throw a lot of them away. Not just when it came to the Marines in the middle of the map, even with the Hellion harass, right? Like the first wave of Hellions didn't kill a lot of drones, but just roasted every single Ling imaginable.
Yeah, manages to take out so many of the Lings, and using the momentum from all the mining time that he denied as well, got so far. Yeah, sick games. Some good standard games. That's what we like to see. Zerg dying.
There you go. I mean, it happens. Well, I'm used to seeing it, mate. Smooch, papi, smooch. GG, well played. Congratulations to Cure. My condolences to Dark. I'm sure he's not too upset as he still walks away with some money. Again, top 4 players do get paid out in these ESL Open Cups, so he still is able to get some money for his troubles. But again, just really solid play here from Cure, and that's what we expect to see when it comes to these weekly tournaments. Cure is usually the ambassador of Terran. Sometimes sure we have Beyond, sometimes Gumi Ho with their more wild styles, but Cure, he's here, he's solid, and yeah, he's our champion.
Yeah, great job there by Cure, and really fun games from both players, especially those first few games. A lot of back and forth coming out from them, so yeah, always great games between these guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. I also want to apologize, as someone did point out, Viperino did point out in the chat that Sentimiento Latino was in the title. That is the mistake that I made for almost the entire tournament. I may have had the wrong title going on for what the tournament was, so I apologize for that. I did catch it in the finals, but again, I apologize that it took so long. Look, man, I just woke up, okay?
It's alright, we just woke up.
We just woke up. Oh god, but despite that, what a tournament it was. You know, we got to see a little bit of everyone, a little bit of everything, a little bit light when it came to how many players there were just because of TSL 9, but the quality was still there.
Yeah, absolutely. As I was saying before, Dark vs Cure, that could be the finals of any top flight tournament, any major tournament really, and we can see with the quality of both players why that is. So yeah, great job by everyone in the especially in that upper 4.
Definitely. Congratulations to not just Dark and Cure, but also to Special and also to Nightmare as well. With that, thank you so much everyone in the chat for watching. Congratulations to the winners of the predictions, as 69 percent of people did vote on Cure. Mate, he's Terran, mate. They knew. They just knew. Yeah. Congratulations, and with that we are going to be done here for the day. Only a single tournament cast for us, but still it was a lot of fun. If you want to tune into more of us, our next cast is going to be most likely Sparkling Tuna Cup in the middle of the week on Wednesday. But also, if you enjoyed this tournament, this is a weekly tournament. Every single Sunday is ESL Open Cup Asia, and we are going to do our best to be here on time and cast it.
I will try to be awake at 1 AM on a Sunday.
On a Sunday, mate. On a Sunday. Oh god. So yeah, thank you so much. On that note, thank you so much, Asher, for joining me today. I know it was kind of last moment, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for jumping on and being a part of this.
Yeah, of course. Always great to join. Great to see these players. The ESL Open Cup Asia is always really high quality games.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to see more of the infamous casting cat, where can they find them?
Here? Basically here.
What's it gonna take? What's it gonna take for an Asher stream, mate? What's it gonna take, mate?
I don't know. Probably a good night of sleep.
That's never gonna happen.
That should buy me a few months.
It's never gonna happen. But yeah, Asher, you know, he is one of the newest CranKy Ducklings. He's one of our own, I guess one of many new CranKy Ducklings, actually, as signing Asher kind of forced like a domino effect, and more Ducklings are coming in. But yeah, if you want to tune into more of Asher, you know, he's always chilling in the chat. He's also a part of a Discord server that is maybe available to Australians. So any Aussies in the chat, maybe if you want to be a part of the Australian community, we got you.
Like Terran balance planning.
That's your spot. I appreciate that you're self-aware. Okay, mate, that's a dangerous place for Zergs. You know, I do not feel when I look at the voice chat and I see Seether, Azure, Pez, Oreo, and Asher and NXZ, knowing that all the Zergs and Protoss that I just mentioned are playing Terran as well currently. Like it's not a safe place to be. It's Mighty Kiwi playing Terran as well. Like oh no. Chappie.
It's all right. Mighty Kiwi, Chappie, and Ryan, they're all back on the Zerg grind. You know, back up at the very, very top of the ladder where they belong.
You're like, finally the ladder is safe. These pro gamers are here to take
way away. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so on this very special Father's Day, with you being the father of the CranKy, many of the CranKy Ducklings, where can we find you?
You can find me at light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream throughout the week if you want to tune in to me smoging and losing to Terran time and time again. I can't remember the last time I beat Terran. Asher, I can't remember.
Copium.
The only Terrans I beat are Diamond Terrans now. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But if you want to tune in to my stream, I stream over at Light VIP. Throughout the week, I may stream later today. We'll see how I feel. Like we did just have a long cast, and I haven't had breakfast yet, so
Oh no.
so it would be nice to get some food.
Food. Get that dare iced coffee in you.
To get some dare iced coffee and then crank up that stream. Oh god. So yeah, if you want to tune into me there, I'm streaming whenever I can. But if you're only interested in our broadcasting, then follow us here on the CranKy Ducklings. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, ! Socials in the chat. We have a Patreon as well. We're all over the place, and you can follow us if you want some more CranKy Duckling action. And I recommend it because DreamHack Atlanta is the qualifiers are this month, and we are going to be casting them. So if you want to be up to date on who qualifies for DreamHack Atlanta, if you want to be there for even the ANZ Champ qualifiers that are going to be later on as well, it's all going to be here on the CranKy Ducklings. We got you covered, and we're going to do our best to cover every single region.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff coming around the corner. That is, of course, the very famous Light doesn't get to sleep for a week. So looking forward to that one.
A week? It's 14 days, mate. It's
Oh no.
It's 2 weeks, mate. Ay. Oh god, it's yeah, it's a brutal period. It's a brutal, but also a very fun period as well. So yeah, be a part of that. I also want to give a shout out to Aseti in the chat. We didn't get to mention it, but during the grand finals, Aseti did subscribe. So thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you so much for the support, everyone, for tuning in. As we are gonna head off for the night. Asher, do you have anything you want to add before we go off?
Thank you. God bless you, and God bless all Terrans.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.